Alan Solos here, the Passive Income Guru. In this video tutorial explains to you my trading rules. Right, so I use the doji together with some moving averages to make my decisions on how to trade. It's a very, very simple strategy, and I'm sure you're going to love it, so let's get into it. So in the last video, we discussed to you about the doji. So let's just tell you about the doji and the relevance of the doji and the rule for the doji. Okay, so my rule is as follows. When you see a doji at the top of a trend, and you have open trades, a long, a buy trade, when you see the doji, I would close the trade. If the price carries on going up significantly, you can open another trade long, but you need to watch that trade carefully because usually with a doji, the price usually reverses. So what does a doji mean? A doji means that there is indecision in the marketplace. It means that the buyers and the sellers are basically buying and selling at the same amount of currency. That way it sort of balances it out and there's like no real movement. So there's no decision of who's really in control. So if you look at the chart here, you can see here clearly that the bulls are in control. There's this big green candle here, which means that there are more buyers than there are sellers. So when you see a doji, there is the exact same amount of buyers and sellers. So there is indecision in the market. So if you see a doji at the top of a trend, close out your trade. If the candle spikes and it's a big green candle, you can get into the trade again, but you need to monitor that trade carefully because usually when you get a doji, it's an indication of a reversal. Okay, so let's have a look. We've back tested this, and as you can see, after the doji, there's the doji, the price seems to drop. And if we carry on looking everywhere, and we go back in time, let's just minimize this. Let's see over there. Let's try and find a doji at the top. Sometimes there isn't a doji. I'm just explaining to you the doji rule. So there's another indication of a doji, and then the price drops significantly. So we'll just go back a little bit. You can do this as well. You can go check it out to make sure and get confirmation of what I'm saying to you. So there we go. There's the top of the trend, and there is your doji over there. It goes short again, then it goes up. There's your doji, and then there is a massive drop in the price. So if you back test this, you go back in time, you'll see that the doji rule is quite significant. Okay, so how do you get into a buy position? When is the right time to get into a buy position? The correct time to get into a buy position is when you see the second candle open above the 8 exponential moving average. So remember, we added the 8 exponential moving average to your charts. Let me just clear everything off my screen. Okay, so remember you added the 8 exponential moving average. That's the red and white line, red and white dotted line. That's the 8 exponential moving average. So the rule is that when the second candle opens above the 8 exponential moving average, you can expect an upward trend. So when the second candle opens above the 8 exponential moving average, place a trade, a long trade, a buy trade. Okay, so as you can see here, this is the first candle that opened above the 8. Here is the second candle. So you would have entered the trade over here, and then you would have gone north all the way to the top. Okay, and then there's no doji here. So when do you get out of the long position if there is no doji? So it's the same as the long, but in reverse. So if there is no doji, you will close your trade, your buy trade, either on the doji. If there's no doji, you'll close the trade when the second candle opens below the 8 exponential moving average. So as you can see here, you entered the trade over here. So let's take a screenshot to show you what I'm doing. Okay, so let's zoom in. Let's drop this down a bit. So here is where you would have entered the trade. So let's draw a line for you so that you can see. This is the first candle. This is the second candle. So you would have entered over there and the price would have gone up. Then the price went down. The first candle opened below, but it went up. So we were still in a buy position. And then the price goes down. This is the first candle that opens below. This is the second candle that opens below. So you would have closed your trade over there. So how much profit would you have made? Let's go back and let's go and see how much profit you would have made. So how we do that in pips I'm talking about. So we would have entered over there and we would have closed the trade over there. And you can see there in the top left hand corner, it is 285 pips, which is a huge amount of money. Okay, and the rules are very, very simple. Those are the rules. So let's recap. To go long, you wait for the trend. Okay, after a short, you look at the chart and you'll say, okay, well, when is the end of a trend? So this is a long position. And you'll wait for the end of this trend, and then when it starts coming down, when the second candle opens below the 80 MA, you will then open up your short. Conversely, for a long, when the second candle opens above the 80 MA, you will then open a long position. Very, very simple. Please study this. Start trading. Go and open a few trades. And check it out. So start on a small lot size of like 0.01 and you can start playing around and going to see that the strategy actually works. Great. So go and join my Telegram channel. The link is on the screen. I'm sure you would have joined it already by now, but if you haven't, please join it. That way I can tutor you and help you make better trading decisions. Also, please can you ask questions on the Telegram group. So if you've got any questions, please ask on the Telegram group. Please don't WhatsApp me personally. It's not that I don't want to chat to you. It's how we teach everybody is by letting everybody learn from your very intelligent questions. That's why I don't only educate you, but I educate many people on the group that may be shy to ask some of the questions. So go try the strategy out, and I'm sure it'll work for you. Now, just a side note here. This strategy works on all time frames. Okay, so I like to read the chart on a 4-hour chart. That's where I'd like to trade. That way I get very nice long trades that last more than 200 pips, which is nice profit. But the strategy works on all time frames. Now, if you're using a lower time frame, let's say you want to be trading on the 15-minute time frame, you need to be trading with the trend. So what I mean by that is, I mean that you need to refer back to a higher time frame to see that you're trading with the trend. Never trade against the trend. So if you're on a 15-minute time frame and you want to open up a long position, okay, you would wait for, you need to go back to the 4-hour chart. So we go back to the 4-hour chart and we say, oh, okay, look, the candle has opened. The second candle has opened above the 80 EMA. All right, but I want to scalp the market on a lower time frame. So what you would do is you'd go to the 15-minute time frame and you'd say, okay, every time I see the second candle open above the 80 EMA, I'm going to place a trade and I'm going to hold those trades. Okay, when the second candle drops below the 80 EMA, I'm going to close my trade and I'm going to wait until I see the next candle, the second candle, open above the 80 EMA. Then I will get into another long position. You don't trade short if you know that the trend is long on a 4-hour chart, because then you would be trading against the trend. Okay, so it's a very, very important rule that you need to stick to. So if you're going to scalp the market on lower time frames, make sure that you are only trading in the direction of the trend on a higher time frame, like a 4-hour chart. Once the direction changes on a 4-hour chart, you need to change your strategy on your 15-minute chart to match that on your 4-hour chart. So if you want to trade short on a 15-minute chart, you need to make sure that the trend on a 4-hour chart is actually short. Otherwise, the trade will go against you, and you'll just incur a high drawdown on your account, which is unnecessary. So just remember that the trend is your friend, and always trade with the trend. Great, so that's the strategy, and go and learn it and ask questions on the Telegram group, and I'll see you on my next video.